Hello Internet, this video is part of the Jeep Project playlist on Scott's Garage, where my 89-year-old father and I are doing a complete frame-off restoration of our 1946 Willys CJ2A. In this video, I will show you how I installed all the brake lines. And even if you're not restoring a Willys Jeep, what I have to say concerning brake lines applies to any vehicle. Keep watching. Now, the Jeep Project on Scott's Garage is being sponsored by Kaiser Willys Auto Supply. If you need any part whatsoever, whether it's brake related or not, for your Willys Jeep of any year, shop at kaiserwillys.com. Quality parts, and please use my discount code SGarage upon checkout and get 10% off any item with the exception of tubs, tub kits, and tires. By using SGarage, you support the Jeep Project on Scott's Garage, and for that, I am greatly thankful. So about 2.5 years ago, before we moved back to Montana, I bought a bunch of brake parts, most of which were from Ron Fitzpatrick Jeep Parts. And the parts included a master cylinder, and then all of the slave cylinders, and then all of the brake shoes. And I did a complete video on that brake job, and you can see here a link above. At that time, I still have the tub and the fenders on the Jeep, but I also bought some brake lines from kaiserwillys.com, but I decided not to install them. I think I just ran out of time. So I'm going to go back now and I'm going to replace most of the brake lines. So these are steel brake lines. These replacement parts, again, from Kaiser Willys, they are made in the USA. Brake lines are steel, and it's going to be great to have mainly new brake lines, the steel, and it will look beautiful, I think, on the painted frame here. Now, I have the advantage. This is the original, so this is the brake line that runs from the master cylinder inside the frame and up over here. And here's what came from Kaiser Willys. It came in a box, so I'll be able to unroll it correctly and match the original. Likewise, as I walk over here to the front, and so this is for the front axle. So the original is here. So the replacement is there. And again, very high quality. I have not even taken it out of the wrapper. Now, as far as the rear, I am using the original brake line for the rear. Now, I've cleaned it up quite a bit. It was in really good shape, I thought, and the lines are clear. By the way, this part of the brake line, that's new from 2.5 years ago. Same with the front, so I'm not going to replace that. But let's get started. Okay, so just put on a flat surface like the concrete here, and simply just bend down. I may have to do a little bit more than that. You don't want any kinks at all. Okay, that looks good. That matches with that. And here, I want to simply, between these two stickers here, that has to be straightened out. There we go. All right, that was easy. I don't have the clips. I've misplaced them here, so I'll probably be using the original clips there. So this is the front brake line, and there's the new one again, still in the plastic. But I want to use this brass T, so I'm simply going to take it apart again. This hose here is new, and I had the brakes working before, but again, I thought it'd be good to replace the front line here, make it look a lot better. So the brass is 9/16. Okay, with the use of the Brillo pad, the brass fitting, the T, it cleaned up fairly well. Let's take out this out of the package now. Here's one of the great things about Kaiser Willys is that the parts are made in the USA. So they're quality. You can see that in this brake line, and really just like the original, the cushion and stuff, and we'll get it to match. Okay, what I'm going to do now is simply hand tighten the steel line to the brass T. And I have found over the years that that's the key to brake lines, is this: don't tighten things all the way, because they still need to move a little bit. They're steel lines, so they don't budge much once they're tightened. So you have to keep them loose until everything is fitted in place, and then tighten everything up. Okay, so those matching that, they just go just like so. Even these brackets, they're not flimsy at all. So I need to spread these apart just using a screwdriver here just to do so, make it a little bit easier. So again, I want to match that exactly. So it's going to go just like that. Okay, we're gonna start in the front here. I've just placed the brake lines, the front one, and also there's a little side one here that goes to the master cylinder. Just kind of in place, or not in place, but close to where they're going to be. And I think the first thing I'm going to do is put in these little brake lines. Again, these are new. They're only about 2.5 years old or so, and they're in good shape. And these are very easy to put in. So just right down here, and then up here, and then there's a little clip, C-clip that holds them. Again, just putting these in finger tight at this point. Don't want to tighten anything. Don't want to strip anything. Make sure it's going in straight. Okay. And it is. All right, I'm just going to position this in place. Again, just finger tight. And this goes up here. And this little one here is going to just go just like that. We'll get that later. I think I'll put the clip in up here on this hose. I'm going to take this bolt out. Even though it's where it goes, I just need a little more room for this. Okay, loosely in place. I'll move the camera and I'll get a little bit more of a close-up on the passenger side. Okay, we're on the passenger side here. Here again is the brake hose. It's a little bit wonky here. It's kind of bent a little bit, but I think I can get it to work. Again, I'm just going to get the lines in there before I put any clips on. Okay, now this S line, whatever you call it. Okay, I'm going to use my 3/8 flare knot wrench to just tighten this one a little bit more. It's hand tight, but I just want to make sure I'm not going to force anything. I don't want to strip anything. Yeah, that's correct. So it's a little bit tighter, and make sure the bottom one too is set correctly. Okay, it is, and I know this one's good. So now I will put on the clips. I'm going to use an older clip here. It's a little bit, sticks out a little bit more, gives me a chance to get it started with the hammer. Okay. Okay. Okay, here I have removed a couple of bolts from the front differential, and those bolts go through those brackets that you saw me earlier attached to the front brake line. Okay, I didn't record everything, but this is the last clip for the brake hose. All right, now that all the clips are in, I'm going to cinch everything up and add a couple more straps. Okay, it's getting to the point now where this one is getting tight. Again, you don't want to over tighten them. Okay, I think that's good. Now this side, the S tube, the S line. Okay, that's good and tight. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Move over to the passenger side. Okay, there's a really short side line here, brake line, and it basically goes from the hose here, the brake hose here, to the master cylinder. Same thing. I'm going to just hand tighten it, and then I'll wait till everything is seated, and then I'll tighten everything. It's bent so it goes around here, and then that's where the engine mount goes. I'll change the camera around and give you a better angle. Didn't like how that was going. I'm going to loosen this one a little bit more. It's just barely going in there. And this one, again, you have to hand tighten it. If you can't hand tighten it, you got the wrong angle. Okay, I think that's it. Yeah, that feels good. Okay, tighten this one. Last thing to do is this little strap, it's just a little screw here. Goes in there, and I'll need to get a wrench to tighten that. All right, move on to the side one here. Last thing you want to do is cross thread brake lines. It's the rear differential, one of the bolts there, lock washer. And then this, likewise, the T and original bolt, and it's threaded. Again, just hand tight. Next, we'll move on to the brake hose that goes inside this cross member. I need to put a clip down there, and I'll change the camera angle. All right, I'm on to the last brake line. This is a new brake line. You saw me earlier bending it correctly, and I'm just going to snake it through the frame. It's going to go just right underneath here, and it will go into, there it is, the master cylinder eventually. And you can see right here where it bends out to, it goes on the inside of the frame. It's going to avoid everything here, linkages and stuff. And then here it goes outside the frame, but it has to pop under here. So with Mom's camera, you should be able to see what I'm doing here. And I can see it from the top end. There's a hole here. I can see what I'm doing, hopefully. Can get it going in straight, across any threads. There it is. Beautiful. Okay, just hand tight, nothing more than that. If you can see over here, this is fitting in this. There's a side clamp here. Beautiful. And I'll change the camera angle again. We'll do the master cylinder. So I'm going to have to bend the line up a little bit, and that's why I don't have anything tightened yet, because you do have to manipulate these lines a little bit to get them to fit. I think I need to crawl under there a bit. Let's see. Maybe not. Okay, that's actually good. Okay, only after your lines are in straight and you can hand tighten the threads a few turns so there's no struggle, do you use the wrench. And you use a double flare end wrench. That's the only way to go to properly do this. And so this is a 3/8. They're compression fittings, so you can tell at this point it is tight. You don't want to over tighten it. And likewise, this one is tight. I'm going to go back and do all of them now since all the lines are in. As it turned out earlier, when I thought I had this other camera recording, it was not recording. So my bad on that, but you can see the clip here. So the brake hose is this way, and it comes here underneath the frame. And again, I was able to hand tighten it, just looking in from the top, this hole right here, and just feeling it. Didn't want to strip anything out, but I'm gonna tighten it up now. Okay, that's tight. Okay, here I'm just tightening everything up now that all the lines are in place. Almost finished with this project. Like with the front differential, there are some bolts that hold some of the straps that hold the brake line for the rear differential. So here I'm putting on the original straps. On the front, there's two on the front and then one on the rear for these brake lines. Well, here they are, all the brake lines installed, all the fittings tightened, all the brackets put in place. In an upcoming video, I'll check for leaks and I'll bleed all the brake lines. Hey, if you got any value at all from this video, please give me a like. It costs you nothing, but is of great value to me. Don't forget to use the S-Garage discount code if you're shopping for any Willys Jeep part on kaiserwillys.com. Have a great day.